So like I told you, there are many ways of getting a coherent set of rays, but what we will do is we will try to understand the Young's double slit experiment. Okay, so this is what is there in our syllabus. We want to make sure that we understand this Young's double slit experiment. What Young did is, Young took a screen and made two very small holes through them. The size of these holes is much less than the wavelength of light. And then he took a source here and placed them. So what happens is that waves go this way and the waves go this way. So when light reaches here, this will become a secondary source of waves, and then he placed a screen on this side. So we'll call this as S1 slit 1, we will call this as S2 slit 2. There are two slits, so this is called a double slit experiment. So from here secondary waves go and then they'll reach a particular point, and from here secondary waves go and then they reach a particular point. So now at this point you have secondary waves from here and you have secondary waves from here. Okay, now these two waves are coherent because they are coming from a single source. So now here you can see interference patterns on the screen. Now suppose we call this point as P, and we call this as origin, this is the y-axis. Now let this distance be equal to y. So what happens is that y, you get light waves from S1 from S2 which have a phase difference. The reason why they have a phase difference is because there is a difference in path. Very clearly you can see that S2p minus S1p is something. Okay, it is not equal to 0. There is a difference in path. At the center of the screen there is no difference in path. If there is no difference in path, the path difference is 0, so the phase difference is 0. So you get an intensity maximum. So at the center you get a maximum, and as you move away at different points, depending on the location of that point, the y coordinate, you will get a different intensity depending on whether it is multiple of lambda or not. If it's a multiple of lambda, you get a constructive interference. If it's not a multiple of lambda, the intensity will change accordingly. Now let us try to find out what is the condition. Now suppose the distance between the two slits is small d. This side becomes a d by 2, this side becomes another d by 2. So now if I look at this point from this point is y plus d by 2, and if I drop this point from here is y minus d by 2, right? So now when I work with this, I can apply Pythagoras theorem and I can say that S2p squared will become equal to y plus d by 2 the whole squared plus capital D squared, where capital D is the distance between the slit and the screen. Similarly, S1p squared is equal to y minus d by 2 squared plus d squared. So I'll just do S2p squared minus S1p squared, and what will I get when I subtract them? I'll expand this as y squared plus so on. So I'll get 2 times y into d by 2 into 2, 1 from here, 1 from here. Okay, so that is equal to, this 2 will get cancelled, that is equal to 2yd by d. And what is this S2p minus S1p squared equal to? It is equal to S2p plus S1p into S2p minus S1p. I am writing this as a plus b into a minus b. So when I write it this way, this S2p plus S2p I can say is equal to 2d. So 2d into S2p minus S1p, this is the path difference. S2p minus S1p is the path difference, is equal to how much? So this is equal to 2yd. So this is equal to 2yd. So from here the 2 will get cancelled, and I will get that S2p minus S1p is equal to yd by capital D. That means the path difference between the two waves is equal to the path difference, that is S2p minus S1p is equal to y small d by capital D. Understand that y is the position of the point where we have set out to find the intensity. Small d is the distance between slits, and capital D is the distance between slits and screen. This is the distance between the slit and the screen. So suppose I have my diagram again, I'll draw the same thing again. So light goes from here, light goes from here. This is the screen, suppose this is the screen, light goes from here. Now these two waves interfere at this point, and this distance is y. So the path difference is equal to yd by capital D. So for lambda path difference, the phase difference is 2 pi. So for one path difference, the phase difference is 2 pi by lambda. For this much path difference, the phase difference will be, theta will be yd by capital D into 2 pi by lambda. Yes, so this is going to be the phase difference at any point. Now if this phase difference is equal to n lambda, I have maximum. If it is equal to 2n plus 1 lambda by 2, I have a minimum. So let me try to see the conditions for each. So if this phase difference, that means if yd by d into 2 pi by lambda is equal to n lambda, if it is equal to 2n pi, then I have an intensity maximum. So the 2 pi gets cancelled, and I'll get y is equal to n lambda capital D by small d. That means at all these points on the screen, I have an intensity maximum. So n can be 0. If n is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. If y is equal to 0, we are talking about the center of the screen. We are talking about the center of the screen. So the center of the screen has a maximum. The next point I can talk about is n is equal to 1. That means y is equal to lambda d by d. If y is equal to lambda d by d, this is the place where I have the first maximum. This is called the central maximum, this is called the first maximum. If n is equal to 2, y is equal to 2 lambda d by d, I have the second maximum. Now suppose I call this as y0, I call this as y1, y2. y2 minus y1 will give me a quantity which is called the fringe width. The distance between two consecutive bright fringes is called the fringe width. The distance between two consecutive bright fringes or two consecutive dark fringes is called the fringe width. Okay, so we'll remember this.